Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Daily Blues here on 100% Chelsea in the January transfer window. I am at Louis the Boogaloo and at 100% Chelsea. Twitter links are there, and I am also joined by the 12th man in Mr. Max Perry and our Ginger Jim White, Mr. Oran Tully. Introduce yourself, lads. How you doing?
Why haven't I got a cool nickname like that?
What? You're not the Ginger Jim White.
Well, I want something like that. Can I be the overweight Jeff Shrews?
Can you be what?
The overweight Jeff Shrews?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, hey, I'm Max, I'm the 12th man. Please subscribe.
You can't give yourself a nickname. Let's just establish that. Just in capitals, in the comments, guys. Put Max, you can't give yourself a nickname. Just make him feel bad, because that's what we enjoy to do. But in the studio tonight, we are also joined by Jim White, who also happens to be Ginger and Irish and called Oran. But hello.
Hi guys, it's the Ginger Jim White here, bringing you up to date with all your Chelsea transfer news. Today we're going to start with a centre half we've been linked in Matt Miazga from New York Red Bulls. At the moment, it looks like he will cost around £2 million, and there will be no need for a work permit as he does have a Polish passport. Rumours have said that he is currently in London for a medical and has left the US national team base, so we can have that medical. Also, it does not look like he will be sent out on loan, even though he is a signing for the future. Louis, what do you think about this one?
I know absolutely nothing about the geezer. It just rings. Max was saying it before. It's another Emanalo signing, without a shadow of a doubt. Michael Hector, Dillaboji, and now what's his name? Matt Miazga. Matt Miazga.
But he was a part of that Red Bull side that did destroy us in pre-season. I know it's only pre-season, but still.
I don't care. it's New York Red Bulls, mate. There has been some great exports from the MLS, but none have been to massive top sides, if you ask me. I mean, there's that Julian Gray kid at Bayern Munich, but I think he was a youth product from there. Well, what's the point? Why, when we can go for someone perfectly good and, like John Stones?
I do agree. Sorry, Louis. I do agree, Max, that it probably will be an MLL sign and he'll be just shipped out. And I do agree with you as well that we could probably go out and get someone better and more established. But I wouldn't put faith in him, considering he is coming from MLS. Maybe let him step up into another league, and then if he does well there, maybe then grab. He might cost a few more, but if he has proved himself, maybe that money will be worth.
It's all a case of what ifs, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
We can't afford to have what ifs at the minute. We need to have,
We need to have nows, people that will impact the team straight away.
Exactly. What do you think about it, Max?
I haven't really got much to say. I'm not even going to pretend I know the geezer. I haven't heard of him. Probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for this strange transfer link. So I'm not really going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, he's had a quality season or anything like that, because I know fuck all about him, unfortunately. Sorry about my language, I just realised. But yeah. Not the signing we need, especially with the position we're in. I don't think he's going to do much for us. Instead of sort of attempting to unearth these hidden gems that could be good, have like a 1 in 100 chance of being the best player in the world. We should just be going for proven players that we know can get ourselves up there, that we know can play well in big games, that we know can sort of be sort of game changers, be players who can sort of get us points up the table, rather than players who are just sort of like, I don't know, if you were asking me last season, I'd think if he's shown potential, that'd be quality, because what we needed to do was to look for the future, get players that were sort of going to, as I said, cement our future going forward. But now, that's gone completely out the window. Rather than getting players that are going to help us in sort of 3 to 5 years, we need players that can help us now. And I don't see this as right signing. We need names, big player, big game names. And I don't think anyone can try saying that this guy is one of them.
100%. So that's our view on him. Emanalo, you can sling your up, mate. This is not working. Anas Rahman, Christensen and Zuma. Christensen's killing it at Borussia Mönchengladbach, apparently. Absolutely killing it in that league. He will come back and be, we'll just put you back out on loan. People are saying we're going after Marquinhos. Why go after Marquinhos and you've got a perfectly good player in Callas who was pushing for the first team against Ivanovic a couple of years ago? Why do that when you've got all these perfectly good players there? People were saying stop talking about Christensen. Yes, JT, I saw you right there, but this kid is killing it and he's a proper good player. You want to have someone else just go out to Mönchengladbach and stay there? Another Thorgan Hazard? I don't think so, mate. But Jim White, please give me our next transfer story. Can you try and do a Scottish accent as well? That'd be quite fun.
Yeah, our next transfer story is actually a departure from the club in Gary Cahill. Reports are saying he's been frustrated about his lack of playing time under Gus Hiddink and does not want to lose out on his Euro 2016 the starting place to the likes of Chris Smalling and John Stones. The bookies having favourites being linked with Liverpool, but also there's been linked with Manchester United. If I'm honest, the best move for him probably would be Liverpool at this time. I think they lack a leader at the moment, and I think Gary Cahill does have the potential to be that leader for Liverpool. And I don't because I think that was what made him into the great player he was at Bolton. He was the best player. He was the leader at a really struggling Bolton side at the time.
Okay, so that's rubbish news to hear, because obviously if you guys haven't seen it already, Eunice and Andy Russell, I believe, is it Andy?
Razzle.
Yeah, you know better than me. That's a bit worrying. Were they, and also James Alcott from Great Touch for a Big Lad did a video on how our potential signings could fit in. There's Marquinhos, there's Pato. There's talk of Pato playing on the left wing as a potential replacement for Hazard. Also talk of Teixeira, which has gone very quiet. No idea about what's going on. But I have just seen. Sorry, mate.
I think Liverpool are apparently front runners for him now, but I don't think it will happen this January, to be honest with you. I think it's too late.
I agree. But I've just had an update on my phone, lads, in terms of transfer news. That's why I was sort of half paying attention because I'm trying to get it up. Robin van Persie to Chelsea.
Yeah, that's another one of the ones we have on the list today. A couple of months ago, it was reported that he wasn't liking life in Turkey. He wasn't getting his game time. But also, if he were to leave, he would command a huge fee, as he was just signed for Fenerbahce, and he is one of their highest paid players at the moment. Do I think he's a good sign? No, because in his last year at Manchester United, he did. I think he looked very dead. Don't get me wrong. I think he still wanted to prove that he could play. He looked very dead, dragged, and tired. I just don't think he's up to the Premier League standard anymore.
Well, there you go. Enough said. Max?
I'd love it. He's shit, don't get me wrong, but if I can walk around wearing a Van Persie shirt on the back of a Chelsea shirt, I'd bloody love it. Like, purely for the fact that I want to piss off the Arsenal fans, that's it. Like,
and Man United, don't forget Man United.
Well, yeah, but I dislike Arsenal fans more, and it will hurt them, and that's what I want. We haven't been able to hurt them that much since Fabregas, and I need that again.
Well, Hamza Ahmed in the comments has just made a very good point. Fabregas and Robin van Persie reunited. If Fabregas is on form, it could work.
Yeah, but Van Persie isn't the same player he was when they were playing at Arsenal, when they were both 24 and 26 years old. Van Persie is now a 31-year-old striker who is basically a piece of... I don't want to say a piece of shit, but he's getting on. As in... to be honest, I never liked Van Persie in the first place. Thought he was a bit of a git moving from like Arsenal to Man United. And I just think he got slow and tired towards the end of his career.
Well, I guess we could agree to disagree technically on that, but I think it could work out. It's definitely a better signer than Pato, because you've got a man who's proven in the Premier League.
Oh, Pato's a spud.
It's not going to work. It's 100% not going to work. I mean, there's obviously in the preview and in the review or scouting report, if you would, Andy and Eunice made some really big points on the fact that, you know, Pato has been playing a lot on the left wing, so it's potentially a replacement for Hazard instead of a backup for Costa. So it could work, but I just can't see it. I just can't.
Yeah.
People are saying it. I've had a few mates of mine say it was a steal. What are you talking about? It's not a steal. Because
Charlie Austin for
really
4 million
good, right?
is a steal. That's not a steal.
Thank you. Exactly.
Charlie
Pato
Austin
was
for
still
4
really that
million is a
good.
crime.
He wouldn't have gone off to Brazil. Pato's too injury prone.
Exactly. And we've already got players like Dominic Solanke, Tammy Abraham, Patrick Bamford. People are saying he's rubbish. He hasn't had a chance to prove it in the Premier League. People could say, I agree, he might not get the chance at Chelsea, but he needs to play in the Premier League to prove what he's capable of.
Basically, it's another step backwards.
Exactly.
It's another step backwards in a time where we've already taken like 15 steps backwards this season. As I said earlier, we were in a point where we had our current squad like dominating the league, looking quality in Europe to a point where we could challenge for a good few seasons, not expecting the fact that there would be a huge dressing room revolt against the manager or anything like that. Not expecting that. But we had a team that could have easily challenged more or less every domestic trophy within the next sort of 3 to 5 years, as well as having a youth team that we were bringing in while bringing in players from abroad who were then able to cement our future and move the club forward without having to spend money, meaning that we could then build a new stadium in the background. However, now we've got to a point where the whole first team needs to be changed, which means that for some reason they haven't even decided to give youth players a chance. They've just thought, fuck it, we'll just stick them alone for a few years until we're back where we were. The money is going to be spent on players rather than the stadium. Also, the focus is going to be off that. It's just we've taken 20 steps back this season, and signings like this are just they're so damaging. With like 10, it's a joke. How is Charlie Austin 4 million within 8 minutes? He has scored more goals than Hazard this season.
It's true though.
It's true. Hazard's not a centre forward, but
yeah, he is. But if you look at what Charlie Austin is, him and Harry Kane are examples of the old-fashioned English centre forward. They know where the goal is. They can bring the ball down. They can score left foot, right foot, header, chest, whatever part of the body, and they just know where it is. If he had his back to goal, if the goal was behind me now and I was Charlie Austin, I know, right, keeper is on that side of my shoulder. I'm going to put it in the top right-hand corner there, and I just know exactly what to do. He knows what to do. He is clinical. He put up the English quota. He knows where the goal is. He scored 20-plus goals in a team that got relegated last season, and people are saying he's not good enough. Like you said, 8 minutes into his debut, he scores the winning goal against Manchester United. 4 million quid. Now, if you're talking about a steal, that is a steal. However, like I keep saying, we've got 3 quality strikers who are capable of filling in that last slot. I really shouldn't be yelling because my voice is really hurting, but see, but that's how annoyed I am. We have such good quality players with such great caliber who won UEFA Youth Leagues and FA Cups, and they know exactly what to do. They just need to be given that opportunity. And I'm sick of people just going, let's bring this guy in, let's bring this guy in. We're going to bring in some geezer from New York Red Bulls. No one has anything to know. They don't know anything about him. And he's just going to come into our squad when you have players like Christensen, Alex Davey, Callas, Omuru. You've got 4 quality centre-backs there. Omuru, Nigerian international, plays internationally at centre-back for Nigeria. Callas, international for Czech Republic. Christensen, I don't know if he's an international, 100%. I think he might have got a couple of caps.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, another international. And 4th, Alex Davey. He's not quite an international, but he's an up-and-coming player. What's the point in getting these players out and just putting them out on loan just to sell them for a profit when they're not going to put on the shirt? And they have definitely give more than any of the players who have not done this season, who are just not bothered. Rant over. Moving on. Would you two like to elaborate on that point?
Yeah, I definitely agree. As in, some of these players arrived at Chelsea, and it was their dream to get into this first team, and now they are being blocked out by people who I believe shouldn't be there. As in Falcao shouldn't be there. Falcao is rubbish. I was glad when the geezer came because I thought he might do something, but he's rubbish. We never should have signed him. And then Ivanovic has done so much, but I think it's time for him to take a step back now after this season. It looks like he might have lost his legs. And then...
Sorry to cut off, Oran, but I've just been seeing the comments, and I forgot someone. Nathan Ake at left back, holding midfield, potentially another centre back. I think he got offered. He nearly got into the squad for the Dutch.
He's such a versatile player. He's what you need.
He's
so versatile.
You know who he is? He's Ruud Gullit, basically.
We've just lost. You're only me really saying that because of his hair, but
no, not that he is.
I know. I'm joking.
Don't be angry.
We've just lost who is possibly one of the most versatile players in the league, Ramires. Someone who could attack and defend, play in the centre and on the wing. Like, he's probably up there with one of the most versatile players I've seen, especially for Chelsea. Why not promote someone like Ake? Someone just as versatile. A little bit more defensive, which is what we need, because let's be honest, our defence has been one of the worst parts of our team this season. We've been leaking in goals. But, yeah, Ake definitely deserves a shot next season, I think. And he hasn't done half bad at Watford as well. He's been getting a decent amount of starts, unlike some of the other players that we loaned out to Prem teams. I think Van Hinkel hasn't got a lot of time. Obviously, Moses hasn't got as much time, but I think he was injured for a little bit. Bamford, Atsu, obviously, have come back and are more than likely going to be put back on loan. So, yeah, Ake is the exception on that one and should definitely be in with a shout.
100%. Put him on my fantasy league team for the past few weeks. Been doing me wonders. But that's a really stupid thing to say. But you know what I mean. He is quality. I mean, he was pushing for the first team again. He is in the same boat as Callas. Boom, both of them shipped out on loan. I don't understand it. But obviously we will move on. Now I've just been sent this. Now obviously Ramires has left the club, 25 million to go to China, and he's sent a message, and I'm just reading this off GiveMeSport.com. I've just been sent this, so I'm going to read what it says. And it says, Ramires says, I would like to say thanks to Chelsea and their fans for all the good moments that I have had when I've lived here. I'm proud to have written my name in the club's history with titles, especially the Champions League. And it says, special thanks to all the people who have supported me daily, staff, management, and team partners. You'll always have my admiration. Thank you. Yep, there you go. That's what Ramires has to say. It's sad to see such a versatile player go. Really, I think that he was by far our best squad player. He was unique as well because there's no one else like him in the Premier League. Thoughts on that, boys?
Yeah, I would definitely agree there. The way I describe Ramires is probably like a Formula 1 car. As in, he had so much energy just to get up and down the pitch, and you knew he would do anything to put in an attack up, do anything to get up the pitch and score a goal. And if he did score a goal, it'll be a worldie, like his goal at the Nou Camp or his goal against City a couple of years ago.
Against Leicester.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was just a machine. As in, yes, it's sad to see him go, and I know I said it wasn't a surprise for him to go to China, but that's because he was Brazilian. But quality-wise, it's sad to see him go to China because I think he deserves to be playing in a better league. Sure, we brought it up a couple, I think, yesterday, day before. He was linked with PSG and Bayern Munich, for God's sake. As in, like, he could have done wonders with one of them.
100%. Max?
Yeah, as I said, he was a versatile player. I'm sad to see him go, but in my opinion, I think 25 million is an absolute deal, purely for the fact that if he was going to another English club for 25 million, it wouldn't be so good. If he was going to another European club for 25 million, again, it would be average. But the fact that he's going to a club that we don't compete with competitively at all, I think 25 million is quality in a time where, as I said, we need to give our first team drastic changes, and considering he's not a loss to the first team as such, he was realistically a player who was on the bench for a lot of the time. I'm not saying that was necessarily deserved. There's a lot of times this season where he should have started. But to get 25 million for a player who sits on the bench, as effective as he was when he came on and as versatile as he was, I think that's quality considering it's going to have no backlash on us as he's not with a competitor. And that money could do big things in the summer, especially with financial fair play.
True, all valid points. All valid points. So obviously this leaves a big opportunity for one young youth talent that we want to see play a lot more at Chelsea, Mr. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So it will be interesting to see what's going on with that.
Can I just interrupt quickly, if that's all right?
Go ahead,
I've seen a lot of comments saying talk about the Chelsea ban. What is this? I haven't heard of this. I don't know if I should have. Maybe some of the other people haven't, and it's good to explain it.
Yeah, Max, we were talking about this the other night. I don't know if we want to get into it again.
Okay.
But, Louis, should we get into it again, or
just like a 30-second
briefly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The story is that about 4 years ago, when Burton Short was 16, he played a friendly for the under-18s, but FIFA regulations say that they cannot under 18 players cannot transfer abroad. But at this time, he was an unregistered player for Chelsea playing these friendlies. Well, it's alleged anyway. If he was found to be registered, we could get a ban. But he was officially registered by Chelsea in 2014. If that's lies, we will 100% get the ban and be banned from signing players in the summer and until next January.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
There we go. So that's your roundup on the potential transfer ban. But we've gone off at a tangent because I had a little rant and then that sort of pushed it all in another direction. So have we got any other transfer stories, boys, or shall we carry on going off at a tangent?
Yeah, we have Remy going to Leicester for about £8 million.
Oh my God!
Yes, the title chasing Leicester.
No.
I don't know how this how real this story is, because it also looks like he could be going on loan to Newcastle or Palace, and I was also reading that Leicester have already sent out another striker on loan. So would they really want to bring another striker in? I'm not sure. I think Newcastle would be the best move for him, even though it's only a loan, just to get more game time, because it's clear he won't be getting it here.
That is very true, but I'll be sad to see a player of like Remy's caliber leave. Quality signing. £8 million though. That's a loss. We bought him for 10.
Yeah, but if he's not playing and he is obviously we've talked about this a lot recently, that he hasn't been given his chances. But if he's not going to get a chance, why keep him on the payroll? Get rid of him and bring in someone else. Or like you were saying, Louis, promote Bradford or Tammy Abraham or someone like that.
True. There is a point though. Sandtruck views. I'm thinking, oh no, we're going to lose him. But you want us to give you like Remy? Oh, okay, we'll give you like Remy. Okay, we'll give you Remy, a little bit of money, and we'll take Ramires. Or a little bit of money, we'll take Vardy. Potentially.
Vardy.
I think it'd be something worth having a go at. I'm worried it'd be another Ricky Lambert to Liverpool scenario, or no, it could be a Charlie Austin as well. It's difficult to say because you just don't know what's going to happen. It's you got to take a risk. But like I'd be undermining myself there when I would say, I take that risk when in fact we need players that are proven. Put it this way. If Vardy's still banging in the goals halfway through next season, oh, definitely stick the money down on him. Definitely, right, okay, we'll take you. Let's go. That's what I would do because it would be interesting to do. But I think a player like Mahrez could do wonders for us, 100%. But what are your views on it, Max?
Yeah, I think Mahrez is quality. As I've said, I'm not the. I hate saying this every time because I know people completely disagree with me, but as I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of Remy. I think that when he started, he hasn't looked good enough. So I don't. He is the second best option we have, so he shouldn't go. As I said, that's another step backwards. That's literally all I'm saying this stream. And for a loss as well, that's ridiculous. But I think if we can bring in someone like Ramires, I think it will be worth it because he is a quality player, especially this season.
True. There you go. And have we got anything else to talk about?
Carvajal. Wasn't it, Oren?
Carvajal?
Yeah. Oren, take over.
Who, sorry?
Carvajal, you said?
Oh, Carvajal, yeah. Yeah, once again, another player has been linked with us. Reports in Spain saying he's unhappy with his playing time since Danilo came in, and he's gone down the pecking order. But I don't really have anything much other than he's unhappy and he'd like to leave. What's your guys' views on it?
Go on, Max, take the floor, mate.
Okay, Carvajal, very good player, not going to lie. Obviously he plays for Real Madrid, he's won the Champions League and multiple leagues, of course. But I would much rather see us sign someone like Marquinhos. I think Marquinhos...
Max, they're two different players. Carvajal plays right back, Marquinhos plays centre.
I think you'll find Marquinhos actually played most of last season at the right back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying here. Not going to say otherwise. And as I said, like versatile squad players are just quality to have. Like Marquinhos naturally is a centre back, but played most of last season at right back and looked quality. So I'd much rather bring in someone like that. And obviously he gives backup if we do keep hold of Ivanovic and if a centre back goes out. Because let's be honest, as hard as it is to say, this is more than likely JT's last season. So if we can't bring in someone like Stones to replace JT, someone like Marquinhos could replace Ivanovic, or even like let Ivanovic move into the centre, where I personally think he's more effective. While he plays on the right, or even he could play in the centre and we could bring someone else in on the right. But yeah, I prefer Marquinhos, but Carvajal would be a good signing. As I said, we need players who are proven in big games, and Carvajal does fit that brief very nicely. So I'd personally be more than happy to see that transfer happen. Definitely.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, that pretty much sums up our view. So Carvajal would be a great signing for us. Yes or no? I'd say yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Oran, is that it?
Do we have time for one more, Louis?
Do we have time for one more? Let's have a little butchers. Yeah, go on.
Fine. This one I have mixed feelings about, but I think I got from London 24, Pochettino to be the next Chelsea manager.
Oh my God! If you're talking youth, that's it. We're done.
So, I personally, yeah, I'd like to see that happen. As in, he brought a lot of youth in through Southampton and Spurs, and he's doing quite well with Spurs. But we're not Spurs mediocrity. We should be challenging for the title, not fourth place. So could he take us to the title? I don't know, but yes, I would love to see him come in purely just to bring in players like Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Nathan Ake and Patrick Bamford.
I think he could take us to the top. He took Southampton from a pretty poor side as they were, where their manager recently just got sacked, I think it was, to having that excellent season where they finished top half of the table, like top 8, I think they came 7th.
Yeah, but
I can't quite remember.
Southampton have the quality of players to do that at that position.
He then moved to Spurs and took a side that was 6th to a side that is now, realistically, I personally wouldn't be surprised, and I did predict that they will get top 4.
Yeah,
I think that's a massive.
If you're looking at the moment, look at other teams around them and look at how close they are. Everyone is underperforming. If everyone was in top 4, Spurs would be nowhere near that top 4.
Spurs are one of the more consistent teams in the Premier League this season. I think he's done an absolute job there, and I'd love to see him. He's got it's probably coming close to about 4 years Premier League experience now.
No. I said no. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to see him come in. Could he take us to the title challenge? I just don't know.
I believe so. He's taken a bottom half of the table side to a top half of the table side. Then he's taken a European football side to what is probably going to be a Champions League football side now. Why can't you take a side that is realistically, like, bar this season, a sort of challenging for the title side to a side that should win the title? No, I'm saying bar this season, Louis, bar this season, we are still a team that should, on paper, people think that we should be challenging for season. Not including this year.
I thought you were talking about Spurs.
No, I'm talking about us. So what I'm saying is, he started off at the bottom, took Southampton, there. Then he had Spurs, who were there, and then took them there. And then Chelsea, realistically, are a bit better than Spurs. So he could take them there, excluding this season. If we're going to base the whole history of football on one season, I'm not being funny, like, everything's going to be different, isn't it? But, long story short, yes, I think it would be a good signing.
Louis, over to you. What do you think?
100%. I've been moaning about youth this whole thing. Been moaning about the youth for quite a long time. So he'd be ideal, wouldn't he? Ruben would get a look in. Bamford would get a look in. Abraham would get a look in. Solanke would get a look in. Easy Brown would get a look in.
We probably
would get a look in.
About the whole first team we have now and bring in all the loan players.
Hello, it's like, right, lads, come on, off we go. We can do this. Let's go in the league. Let's go. I think that would be a quality managerial guy to bring in. I think his style of football is also really good as well. It's quite open, but when he basically what I like about Pochettino is he can play very open, beautiful, expansive football. However, when he needs to close the game down, he knows exactly how to do it, which I love to bits. I think that's absolutely brilliant. It could be difficult. I mean, there's Costa's Fire has just put a great comment in, and I think this is we've overlooked this. The pressure of being the Spurs manager is different to being the pressure of the Chelsea manager. So basically, if you put it this way, I think what he's saying there is, if you're Spurs, you're not expected to win the league right now. Maybe with a.
Are you ever expected to win the league if you're a Spurs manager, though?
Oh yeah, sure. Years ago you would have been, but I mean, now this season it would have been right. Finish top 4, get Champions League football. We'll take it from there. If he gets Champions League football and performs well with Spurs, I personally think that would show what he can do. I think that I've completely lost my train of thought. What am I on about? I do think Pochettino. I think wherever if you looked at him as a Chelsea manager, it would be right.
Win the league now.
Win the league, go really far in the Champions League, win the FA Cup, win the League Cup, domestic clean sweep. That is the expectation. Although I do think that Abramovich is sort of now looking more long term. Obviously, he's trying to find a more stable scenario with the stadium being built. He needs to figure out what to do.
But Louis, if you look at it, right, AVB was meant to be long term. Mourinho was meant to be long term. Most of the managers in the last couple of years were meant to be long term, and they were kicked out. So, what's long term to Abramovich? 3 years or 4 years? 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? We really do. I think to stabilise the club for the future, we really do need a long-term manager.
100% agree. 100% agree. And I think if we're changing stadium over and we're going to be at Wembley for 3 years, 100% we need a more stable manager. 100%. You'd be a muppet if you didn't have a stable manager there. You'd be a fool. I think having interims. I thought when Jose came back, everyone was like, right, this is it. If everyone had a part to play in that downfall of Jose Mourinho, however, he to be honest, he was the most pivotal in it. His ego got in the way. He didn't want to start playing youth. He didn't really rotate his squad. They suffered from burnout, and he just generally lost the dressing room. So, yeah, I think that led to his downfall. But I do think Pochettino would be quality. Max, Pochettino quality? Yay or nay?
Definitely.
Definitely. Cool.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Well, that has taken us to a very nice 35 minutes. Blimey, quality. So that has been it for Daily Blues tonight. This has been a good one. I've enjoyed that today, lads. Make sure that you follow Oran on Twitter at Oran at Tally_Oran, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, Louis.
Tally_Oran. He's a great guy as well. Really quality. He is the Ginger Jim White of 100% Chelsea. Definitely our go-to man in the transfer window. Make sure you also subscribe to Max's YouTube channel, The 12th Man. Also, he has his Twitter written there because he's very, very clever. Aren't you, Max?
Yeah, I've also got my personal Twitter, which isn't there, and that is at MaxPerry98.
See, I'm not so clever as Max. That's why I don't have it under my screen.
No, it's because yours is broken. But what content can people find on The 12th Man, Max?
Okay, so basically, it is to do with the whole football spectrum as a whole. So we have European football reviews. We have a lot of it is based on the Premier League. There's a lot of Chelsea fans over there from this channel, obviously, and being a Chelsea fan myself, a lot of it does sort of centre around that club, but we do like to diversify ourselves around other clubs. You've got FIFA, you've got real life football. A lot of it, I'd like to think, might be quite funny to some of you guys. There's some new stuff, heavily edited. It should be good. It should be entertaining stuff. Just short videos. It'd be good if you could check it out, definitely.
Cool. And also make sure you subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, The Boogaloo. My tripod broke, so it may be a little while before I get a video out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get something done at the weekend about that tripod because it is doing my nutting and I really want to record some stuff for you guys. I promise you a Q&A. That will come. That will be the first thing I do when I get that blooming tripod. But anyway, thank you for watching tonight's Daily Blues. Subscribe to my channel, The Boogaloo. Also subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Check out our social media links down in the description for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Snapchat, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.